And I think like regardless of you're selling your services and your talents and all that sort of stuff, but regardless of what you're selling, sometimes you get so excited about this thing that's like the shiny object, but then when you, like you said, when you boil it down for that client, there's no ROI, there's no value to it.
Nothing. And it throws you back. I mean, it puts you in a bad spot. I don't sell my work. I sell myself. I am honest. I try to not really, fluff you up with what you want to hear. At times, I want to make sure that you or anyone that I work with sees me as professional, but I'm kind of a clown. I love to laugh. That's my personality, and I feel that kind of reflects in my work.
Right.
I find that as far as selling yourself, a lot of times the business part of it, as unintuitive as this might sound, is secondary to the actual relationship. Right. So I feel like if someone kind of gets to know me on a different level, it'll prompt them to say, all right, well, now let me take a look at your work. Now you might actually see my work through a different lens. You might see some of the examples or the things that I'm trying to bring up through a different lens. And I find that for me, it tends to work. I haven't had too many instances where someone is like, all right, you're really cool. And then as soon as they go into some of my examples, they're like, no, crap, don't like it, doesn't match, but yeah, I've never been good at selling or even sounding super professional. These are the touch points that you want. It's not my style. It's not to say that I don't know how to speak that language. I can speak what designers call UX all day and talk about product design and all of that. But at the end of the day, if you don't understand that, then I'm just kind of sounding pretentious, and it doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah, and I think the personal touch is so interesting too, right? Because like you said, and I've never really thought of it this way, but when someone gets to know you, anything that you offer them, it completely changes the lens that they're viewing it in, right? They can understand, if they don't know you and they don't trust you, when you offer something, it's like, why the hell did they offer this? They know you, they're like, okay, I can see where Vlad was going with this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I learned that from someone when I was working at New York Life. Because I had a completely different life experience once, aside from design. I was in finance for 5 years, and then I did insurance for about a year and a half. And one of the mentors at New York Life, when I came back and was like, hey, I'm having a real hard time selling life insurance, which is a tough sell in general, because you're talking about somebody's mortality. But I was kind of telling him, it's hard. Even if I go into my community, it's hard to talk to people about, what we're trying to sell them. And he's like, it's not about the product. Take the product away from it. Talk about your experiences. Talk about examples in your personal life. Talk about the people around you and where you might see that value for them, or where you might have seen the value for yourself, and people will relate to it. It'll make them open up to be more willing in saying, okay, now that you've given me an example, I can start to think about things in my personal life where that might work.
Right.